In the 1930s, there was, to use that German word, a Weltanschauung, a worldview. And the worldview, for those who were on the left, the worldview was of socialism. The largest tendency was some version of Marxian socialism. Of course, there were also other tendencies, anarchist tendencies and so forth, but it was predominantly Marxian socialism. And so it was impossible to function in a political environment there without using, to some extent, deferring to or using the vocabulary of Marxian socialism. That was the worldview of that epoch, the Weltanschauung of that epoch. It's not any longer. I mean, we just have to be honest about that. Right now, if you use that kind of language, dictatorship of the proletariat, class struggle, it doesn't resonate with people. And there's no way you can succeed in politics unless you can find a language that resonates with people. Because as I said earlier, politics is about people. And it's not people as you wish them to be. And not people as you cut them out in a book. It's real people in the real world, and that language doesn't resonate for them. Does that mean we have to all start talking in text language? I hope not. Does it mean we have to all start talking in rap language? I hope not. But we have to find a language that reaches people, and the language of Marxism, number one, it won't reach people now. And number two, it doesn't seem to work anymore. Why it doesn't work, I don't have an answer to that. But in most situations, if you look in the past, you read the writings of Lenin, Trotsky, and so forth, they had a set of categories. There was the bourgeoisie, the petty bourgeoisie, the proletariat. Of course, there are refinements, but there are a set of categories. And there was terms of analysis. There's the class struggle, the economic conjuncture, and so on and so forth. There was a framework within which thoughts operated. That framework just doesn't work now. Now, why it doesn't work, I don't know. I'm not going to try to give an explanation because I don't want to pretend to it. But if you start talking about the class analysis, you're talking about the petty bourgeoisie, the proletariat. Have you read a single analysis of the economic crisis? A single one. Analysis of the economic crisis using those categories that actually is illuminating? I've not. I mean, most people, even on the left, they defer to people like Paul Krugman. And you know, Alan Nairn, who I'm in very regular touch with, he says, I agree with pretty much everything Krugman has to say. Well, Krugman is just, as we used to call it, a good bourgeois economist. And so the language, the categories don't work. And so the categories don't work, the language doesn't work. I don't see the point of holding on to something as a kind of, I don't know, it's a kind of piety to the past.